Good afternoon. So I have raced home from the shop and I was just filming one of our elders here on the property. This elder is more like what you're going to find in the wild spots around near fields and ditches. Right now you're driving around, and I'm going to turn around so you can see it in my background. Right now as you're driving down the freeways, and I'm seeing a lot of this blooming. Elderflower it's a big deal this year. Big bloom. And so I want to show you this plant. You're seeing it from the road as you're driving really fast by. And this is what you're seeing. It's elder. So you may have heard about elder this winter when everybody was using elderberry. This is the flower, and I want you guys to see the difference here. We're going to walk back to the back of the property and I'll show you the difference between elderflower and hemlock, because they're blooming at the same time, and it can be a really obviously deadly mistake to make. It's really obvious, the difference, if you know it, but if you don't, it can make you really nervous. So here is an elderflower, and it has not bloomed yet. It's in the bud stage, so you can see it forms what's called a panicle, and it's kind of like a big umbrella. Every little bit of that flower is coming off from a main stalk, and then it'll bloom like this, and it has each individual, see if I can get out of my shadow here, it has individual little flowers at the end of each of those stalks. This is a traditional, this is just your straight Sambucus nigra, and this is what you're going to see. It's wild. Notice that it's got a little bit of purpling in the stems, and that is a solid purple. We do not see any kind of, see if I can give it a little bit of shade so you can see. You don't see any dots here. That's going to be really important to help you identify when you look at a wild hemlock or a poison hemlock. So I'm going to walk here. We have another elder here, and some of you, if you're in the southern states, they may just be, or even in southern Ohio, they may just be popping. These straight Sambucus canadensis, nigra, on our property have not popped open yet. This one down here is a cut leaf. The one that I'm walking forward, you can see it's kind of like how you would be in the car driving by and seeing this white bloom. This is a cut-leaved variety. So this is going to look very different. The leaves are much more ferny. This is a varietal. It's still a Sambucus nigra. So it's still medicinal. It's still food, good food quality. Doesn't have that purpling in the stem, and is much more decorative in its leaves. And you can definitely get some of these varietals. You'll find as you start to look for elders to grow, you'll find that some of them are, if you go to a nursery, you'll see a cultivar that maybe has been fooled around with, so it has bigger fruit. They're all going to be the same. They're all going to be beneficial for you. They're all going to be useful, all medicinal. It just kind of, if you like a bigger fruit because it's easier for you to squeeze into juice or jelly, that may be your choice. But you can have all different kinds of elder on your property, and they're all going to be used interchangeably. So here is my favorite elder. This is one shrub. You can get a sense of what they do. This is more of that cut-leaved elder. This has grown over the years. I cut this way back in February, and I really wasn't sure whether it would give me much fruit or flowers this year, and holy cow, has it done just fine. So don't worry about cutting back your elder. You can see there's a lot of dead in there, and I'll clean that out. I would say some of that may be frost damage. because I trimmed quite a bit off and I did cuttings, and I started about 100 different bushes that we'll be putting in here in the fall. And you can see this is just loaded with bloom. So just did, if you're on our newsletter, you got it. If you aren't, you might want to sign up for our newsletter here on social media or on our website. I did an elder fritter recipe, and anybody can go to my blog and get the elder fritter recipe, but you cut this whole thing and then you have a stalk to go into the fryer to hold on to that, but you batter this, and oh my gosh, is it delicious, with some powdered sugar. We did jelly. I'm gonna walk to the back of the property so we can see hemlock. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna grab one of these flowers to take with us. And by the way, this is really fragrant. Smells wonderful. If you've ever had elderflower liqueur, there's a reason why they choose elderflower for that liqueur. It's because it's really delicious. Smells beautiful. It's really light, so it's not overpowering like a rose or something like that. I'm gonna go low on batteries. Let's talk about the flower, because everybody's used to using the berry for immune support, and the flower can also be used not just for food, it can also be used in the body. It's a diuretic. Sorry guys, I'm trying to walk level, but I am shaking this a little bit, so I apologize if I'm making you seasick. It's a diuretic, so it moves the waters in our body. It has the ability to help with fever, is one of the favorite things for elderflower. It can cool off the body. So I have it in our cool down tea, because even in the heat, if you use it as an iced tea, it can help prevent overheating. And then if you use it as a hot tea in the winter when you have a flu, you can bring down a fever when that's appropriate to do so. So elderflower, it has some antiviral. I shared some other great things. Boy, check this out guys. There is a lot of red clover back here ready to be picked. That's another whole episode here, but look at that beautiful bloom. When you pick red clover, you're gonna just pop the top off just like that. I didn't realize there was all this back here, so I'm kind of sneaking up on where my hemlock is growing and finding a lot of weeds that are ready for me to harvest. Oh my gosh, I can't get through. Anybody have any questions? Anybody picking elder so far? Have you wondered what that is as you're... I can't get through my grasses. My husband will have a field day with this video. All right, I've made it. I have come through the wilds, the native wilds of Ohio. Who knew that we're such a jungle? My husband has been able to mow most of our property, but back here is still a little undone. So, who knew that I was going to make a comedy video today? I am just coming up on the hemlock, so I'm going to turn this around so you can see. All right, so as we're walking up, you can see it's a very different plant than what the elder is. It is very important that you understand the difference. I'm going to hold this up side by side. Now I'm going to do another piece online about this, and I'll talk even more about the difference. But this one we showed in the regular, and the wild one had some purpling on the stem. Here, if we look at the purpling, ooh, let's see if I can get it in the right light. Doggone it. I'm going to take it over here so you can see it, because it's just too bright for my phone for you guys to be able to see this important detail. All right. So you should be able to see, there we go. There are dots here on the hemlock. The flower shape is very different. There are many little umbrellas all tied together. Instead of one umbrella with all the different flowers attached to it, these are tons of little umbrellas tied together. And we have ferny leaves, which we can have with elder, but the telltale sign here are purple dots on the stem. It is smooth, there's nothing here, no hairs, and it's got the purple dots. This one is a no. We don't make medicine from that one. I'm sure there's a purpose. I'll have to look that up. I have been asked that, and I think there's probably a purpose for just about every plant. Some plants are incredibly deadly, but can be used in small doses for things by very talented people. But I don't know of any helpful use with this other than making you very, very sick or killing you. So no on this, but yes on this. This is going to be on a big shrub. It's going to have woody stems, and it's going to have green stems with umbrellas at the end that do not have any purple dots. And the flowers themselves are much bigger with the stamens sticking, those yellow stamens sticking up. And then here we don't see any of those yellow stamens sticking up above. It is just a white flower. So you can see the difference there. See how those white stamens, or the yellow stamens, are sticking up above those beautiful flowers. Very different plants. If you get it right, you can harvest your elderflower and make use of it this season. Don't worry about taking a bunch of it. There's plenty of blooms this year. Don't take all of the blooms, obviously. If you take all of the blooms, then you won't have berries, and we want to have a good stock of berries. If you are going out somewhere that isn't your land, like obviously here I can take what I want. I'm leaving some for the animals on my property, but I'm only having to worry about my family and the community that I'm serving in the store. If you're in the wild, there's a couple of things. One, make sure you're allowed to be there. Two, make sure that you're leaving enough behind for other people. Don't wipe out the bush. Don't make it so that that bush can't survive, because then it won't be there next year. And you want to make sure that other households that may be depending on that, but you don't know them and you don't know when they're coming. You want to make sure that other people get something, and you want to make sure that there is something there for the pollinators and for the birds. So just take a little bit from each shrub that you find. Another note would be, don't collect right up against a road. So unfortunately, a lot of the elderberry that we see from the car is just not really safe to use. It is sucking out of a ditch. It's drinking out of a ditch, and it's getting all of that runoff from the road. And so you really want to try and find elderberry that is not along a farm field, not along a road, and in an area that you're allowed to collect. So if you are interested in what to do with elder, I'll be sharing more about how to dry them. There are some great tips that I've learned over the years on how to dry them, because they're really fiddly and small, and they'll drop all over the floor on you if you don't know what you're doing. So I'll show you some great tips on how to dry them and preserve them, and what you might do with them in a tea or a tincture this week. You can go to my blog and read about the the elderflower fritter, which people have been making for a really long time and is very delicious. What I have there is wheat flour variation, and you can easily make it gluten-free. And sign up for our newsletter so that you get the first offerings. We have a lot of freebies that we're putting out there, and a lot of special offers to our newsletter participants. You get to find out about all the classes. We're dropping a lot of online classes here very shortly, and you won't want to miss those. There are a lot coming out, some for kids, some for adults, a lot for adults. We're really excited to be launching the new web platform. And I advertised that this is going to be every Friday, but I messed up. My husband and I agreed that it would be Thursdays. So you'll see that that's changing after this first one. It'll be Thursdays at 1 o'clock that I'll be tuning in and giving you a tip, or harvesting something, or showing you all the things that we think are really important for you to be able to be self-sufficient, not living off the grid, never using the doctor, but to be self-sufficient and to be healthy and vibrant every day so that you are taking care of the vast majority of things, so that you know your body and you're a good advocate for yourself. You're a good partner with your doctors, and you're living your best life instead of waiting until you're sick. So these Thursday times, please bring your questions. If you've read content for the week and you have a question about something that I put out that you haven't put into, we really would love to hear your comments on the blogs, but you can bring them here. Hi, Ian. Thank you. Hi, Kritika. So Thursdays, and we have a class that we just launched. We're getting ready to put together our very first ad. So the very first class is going to be a great way to get started talking about this notion of where does the rubber meet the road when you have to take responsibility for your own health. What does that mean? How can you be a good advocate for yourself and for your family? And how do you outfit your home for that and start to learn those skills? So that class is out. There's another one coming that'll be announced on Monday. And if you have any questions, suggestions, input, just let us know. We're so excited to be getting out there in a big way, and watch us on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest. You can get to all of that by Dawn Combs HTKU, Dawn Combs How to Know You, on all of those platforms. And we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being here. Any questions before I sign off for today? Hi, Marty. Always learn something new. Good. Oh, and more importantly, to be reminded of something you had forgotten. That's really what a lot of this is. I don't hold wisdom that somebody else doesn't have. I'm reminding you of the wisdom that your ancestors had, your grandparents had, and the people that were here on this land before us. Those people, we've forgotten a lot. And we're going to do well to be reminded and move forward with that information. And that is a goal of ours. So thank you for being here and being excited about that same thing. So until next Thursday, thanks for joining in, and have a gorgeous weekend. Get out there, get your hands dirty, get your feet dirty, and look up at the sky and listen to the birds. See ya.